Somebody's gonna sit there.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Cecilia.
Sophia?
No, Cecilia.
Cecilia. Okay, yes. Hi. Sophie.
I'm Sital.
Hi.
Where are you from?
Which education?
No,
Or?
which country?
From Denmark. Yes, yes. But my father's French.
Okay.
So that's why I have. In Denmark, normally we spell Sophie with an F instead of a PH.
Okay.
So we're not that many with the PH.
If you want something to eat or drink, you can already take.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take a glass of water. So which level are you on? Are you on the first year of the
Second semester.
of the master?
AFS. Yeah, master's
Yeah.
degree.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi. Hi. Welcome. We have some places, so if you want, you can put it there. Or I can take your jacket if you want. Okay. Yeah.
I'm Sital. Jonathan? Jonathan. Okay.
Hi,
Hi.
Cecilia. Nice to meet you. It's necessary that you write your name
Yes.
and your email address here,
Alright.
please. And if you want already something to drink or eat, you can already start.
Yeah, we can go. Jamen, jeg kender ikke. Could you show, hey guys, måske det ved du det, vejen til kantinen?
Kantinen. Ude. Så tager man til højre. Så er det sådan langs. Det er en tur.
Er det lidt en, altså er det bare den lille kantine her?
Er det en stor kantine? Jeg tror, det er stor. Nå, så
Okay.
skal du over til...
Okay, så er det ikke så langt. Men det er bare ud og så til højre, ikke?
Ja, så ude og så til højre. Så følger du stille sig over, så skal du lige forbi til det, og så er det så. Ja, jeg tror, det er nogen herovre. Det ved jeg ikke.
Maybe later or Skal man skrive navn?
Ja, det skal man. Der er nogle tusser eller nogle farver der. Og der er også en rød kuglepinde.
You put the right your view, man.
Man behøver ikke at bruge farverne, det er bare mig, der er lidt kreativ.
richtig.
This was no juice bag. Yeah. It should be some juice session or something.
Food waste.
Okay, so.
So for
Are you ready?
I recommend.
Yes.
Hello. How are you? Nice to see you.
You probably know your own name.
Yeah, it's nice when you're always And it was sad they already closed this thing because of the sun.
okay.
Yeah.
It's automatically.
Yes, automatically.
Yeah.
So,
So can you guys regulate the curtains like you want to,
No.
or does
No.
it happen just automatically?
it's
It's
automatically.
automatic.
And it's a
So
shame.
irritating.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, the sun is out. No.
And it's a shame because it's a very nice view. And that's why
Yeah,
we decided
exactly.
to do it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're right on the opposite side, and we have a really nice view as well when we
Yeah.
get to see it, because
Yeah.
you can at least see a little bit. Over on that side, it's like you can't see through them at all. When they close, it's just it's like a wall. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's
so
a shame.
You can't even open the windows.
Yeah, that's but if you can't regulate it, because sometimes it's nice.
Yeah,
Then
exactly.
Do you know each other?
No?
Yes.
You can, and you can already take something to drink if you want. Are we waiting for somebody?
I think so. I don't know who.
Altså, det var den simple løsning. Det
Ja.
var
Skal være nemt.
simple.
I think we have it all in different ways.
You have what?
We have it all in different ways.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
folded the paper.
We will wait some minutes because I think some people lost. It was easy to find.
No, not really.
I followed the arrows.
Yeah, so it was clear. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have been here before.
Okay.
I came from the other side, so I came from the other entrance. So I went through your course area and then through that, but I know some of the girls there. So
Okay.
it's okay.
Nice. But you can feel comfortable. It's something awkward.
So I get the sense that many of you are from abroad.
Yeah.
Where are you guys from?
I'm from Switzerland.
Yes,
Germany.
Germany.
I'm from, I'm half Israeli, half British.
Okay.
And you?
You're Danish.
Danish, yes.
Well, I'm Danish. I live in Denmark, but my father's French.
Ah, yeah, because Sophie in this way
Exactly.
is very French.
Yeah.
Our group members also from different countries.
Ah, yeah.
We are five, and two guys were from Nepal, and she's from Ecuador, and she's from China, and she's from Holland. So
It's good. It's very.
it's a good combination.
Very international.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very nice.
But it seems to be a very international study as well.
Yeah.
Like all you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are also some people from Romania and no, but from Italy, one more.
Yeah.
And yeah.
There are a couple of girls from my bachelor's study that
In
goes there.
in our class.
Yes,
Yeah.
Pia and Britt and Fie
Yeah.
and Maria. They're all from nutrition and health. in
Oh,
Copenhagen.
Metropole.
Yes, yeah. Metropole, exactly.
We have been studying Metropole but for English class.
Oh yeah, okay, you come from the international line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have, actually I think I've seen you it's like by Nørreport, right? Yeah, I
Just
think yeah.
beside the Nørrebro.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So what are you doing right now in this school?
Well, I'm studying IT and didactics and
Okay.
organizational change. I'm trying to, well, I'm doing like a study of innovation in IT in the Danish healthcare system. So
Oh, it sounds
that's
interesting.
I
Yeah.
think,
Hi. Sorry. Yeah, you can start. So I just
lidt anden twist på det.
Yeah, it's your own time now. Yeah, you can start. So maybe you say hi, just ask. We would like to have your name here and your email address. And you can think like your name there. You can use all the colors that you want. So, everything that is on the table is for you, so you should be free to drink and you can. Okay, can you start? Yeah. Okay. So we would like to thank you for coming here, and we would like to welcome to our food lab here. Many of you have been here in this room or inside or in the kitchen. So it's nice that you're here, and most of you know that this is Julia. My name is Cecilia, and yeah, we are part of the Integrated Food Studies Master Program, and we are not only focused on the study how food is or how we prepare food, all the recipes. We are also in other areas like food design or policies or governmental things as well. So yeah. So we are doing these focus groups for you. Actually, it was a surprise because I think none of you, only one, knew that it would be like a focus group. And we really would like to have like your opinions and your points of view here. So feel free just to talk whatever you want. And for reasons of the studies, we have microphones here, so I hope it doesn't bother you. And we have a camera recording you. We have many here actually, but only one is on.
Which one?
Yeah, so if anybody doesn't agree with that, so it's fine for all of you to be recorded. And
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah? Okay.
I would have done something with my hair, but
Okay. Do you want to make?
Yeah, then we have a few rules. We want you to do all the talking today, and we would like everyone to participate. And there are no right or wrong answers. Everything today is fine for us. We just want to know your opinions, your feelings about our topic. What is said in this room will stay here. We'll only use it for our report, and that's it. It will not go outside of university. And yeah, so as Cecilia said, we will be recording this on camera. So if everybody agrees with those rules, we can start.
Yes, sure.
yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if you have heard, but we have been talking with the questionnaire about fruits and vegetables, because all of you filled in the questionnaire. But today we're going to talk about something different, and we would like to know what's your opinion about food waste.
Okay.
So for that, we have a whiteboard there, and you can give some ideas, and then Julia will write it down. Or if you want, you can draw on paper something that you would like to draw, or use the small sticks here as well. So just feel free. You can have like
Anything that comes up in your mind when you think about food.
food waste.
Dumpster diving.
What?
Dumpster diving.
Yeah, that's the first thing I was thinking.
So you can write it here as well, if you want, or use the post-its.
Yeah, I'm also thinking those economic packages from the supermarkets.
Individual versus like bigger waste, like commercial from the yeah, but as well individual, like the waste of your lunch, of your dinner, how you can recycle, like use it the next day or so.
Yeah, like reuse of food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone want to
Too
order?
much? It's too much?
Yes, please.
Also waste of waste.
Yeah.
Because sometimes food waste
Thank you.
can be used to something else that is beneficial.
I'm thinking political views.
Mm-hmm. Policies.
When I think, not policies actually, I'm thinking, when I think about food waste and I think about who's talking about food waste, it's always those left of the middle, like
Mm.
politically.
Yeah.
The people I know who talk about food waste are usually those who are non-conservative, who are maybe a little bit more
Isn't it
hipster or ecological,
like the Green
yeah.
parties?
Green
maybe?
Party,
Yeah.
Enhedslisten in Denmark, many of the same political parties that talk about environment and ecology are the same people that talk about food waste.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
goes into it anyway. But I think it's changing actually. I think it's part of a bigger discourse change in Denmark.
It reminds me of, I don't know what's the name of this movie, but there was this a very I think it is in the US. Do you remember?
Yeah, they have
Someone
like
of
a
you-
lot of bread and stuff.
Yeah, I think after this movie there was a lot of, or it was more a documentary about the food waste, and then there was a lot of.
Is it Al Gore's movie?
No, that was
No,
about
because this is about
climate
climate change. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's the one with the
Food
chicken
Inc.
factory.
It's
Yeah,
Food
Food Inc.
Inc.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Mm.
And it's also a thing with rich and poor countries.
Actually, the poor countries are the worst. Are some of the worst at waste
What
at
is
all.
a poor
at
country?
all. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but you could also say that probably some of the maybe poorer families, even in Denmark, may also have that problem, especially if you have also families versus single people.
yeah.
Because it can be hard to, if everything you can get in the supermarket is family packaged, and you have a person that lives alone but doesn't have the ability to store all this food for such a long period that they need to,
Yeah.
due to the size of that.
Mm.
But imagine that also affects it.
I think it also has something to do with education.
Mhm,
That
yeah.
people don't know that, or maybe they saw a program. It was about organic chickens, but there's something about that they use a chicken for 3 different types of meals.
Mhm.
Like first, like they roast it, then take the meat off and use it for a kind of curry, and then use the bones and for a soup in the end.
Yeah.
Mm.
Exactly, and I think there's a bit of a change. Some of the people who started like the food waste awareness in Denmark have tried to make it more accessible to many people. There's like this new restaurant in Copenhagen called Råbergstrup, which is actually a restaurant where they get all the produce from, they buy it like on the last day of its expiration date from the supermarkets at a low price, and then they use it. So you never know what the menu is going to
I think
be. They just change it every day because it depends on what they can get.
I just saw something like this in Zurich as well.
Yeah.
In Switzerland, they opened this kind of restaurant, the same
Yeah.
principle.
It's such a
And
good
it's
idea.
yeah, I think it's a kind of a movement that people are willing as well
Yes.
to go to the restaurant, and you're not sure what you're gonna eat, and yeah.
I think it's also like a hip thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
it's
I
a
mean,
good
this
thing,
goes
but
with this maybe a bit more left wing,
yeah.
green
Yeah.
parties,
Yeah.
ecological.
Yeah.
There are, I guess it's tendency, like there's also lots of quite, in London, I was at a sushi restaurant, and that said that if you leave something on your plate, you have to pay for it. Apart from it's running sushi, you pay once, and if you leave something on your plate afterwards, you have to pay extra.
Wow.
Okay.
There is actually a
Yeah.
Chinese
That's
restaurant that
nice.
does it too for their buffet, where they're writing that if you leave anything from the buffet on your plate, then you will get a fee for it.
Okay.
Oh, that's so nice.
Reverse psychology.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
It is because people are so greedy
Yeah.
when it comes to buffets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially, I do it myself. Oh no, I don't like that.
Food waste. A lot of restaurants are working with homeless organizations as well.
Yeah.
So there's as well this chain of food continues, and
Yeah.
you.
Actually, I know that there are some problems with supermarkets. I worked in Bilka, and every day they threw out this, massive bucket of bread. It's
Yeah.
because they refused to give it to the homeless, because then they wouldn't buy the bread.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
it's better
Yeah.
for them to throw it out.
So
That's why
stupid.
them to die.
I had the same thing with when I was working in Doinator,
Yeah.
and generally bakeries,
Mm.
they have a tendency to, it's their thing of they make
Yeah.
fresh bread, but the bread that's 1 day old,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they took out.
Throw it away. Yeah.
And also in the hotels, they are not like allowed to give the food to their staff.
No.
So they
Oh, yeah.
all like, it goes through a, I don't know how it's called, like it makes all small and then it's like only like a,
I had the discussion with some of my friends at some point about giving food for free to the homeless or something like that. And we discussed it like at length because it does seem wrong just to give it away. Like I go in, I might have the money to buy it and I buy it at full price, and then at the end of the day somebody else gets it for free. But it could be like just like a small part of the price. It could maybe be 1/10 of the price or half the price or something, and not so that the homeless themselves could go and buy it, but maybe shelters and stuff like that could buy it at a really, really low price.
But isn't I don't know if it, I guess it exists here as well in Switzerland. This Caritas, they have shops where I think it's as well products which are almost to expire. But I mean, rice cannot really expire, like those
No.
kind of product, and people in need. With a low income, they can apply to get this Caritas card, and they can go and do their shopping in there.
but my mother, she was working at a thing like this, and she was like, no, the people don't want to buy, even there they don't want to buy like brown apples or apples they don't look like perfect, so it's a problem as well.
Now that you say that, what do you usually consider food waste? Now that you were talking about like brown apples or brown bananas, what do you usually consider food waste at
When do
home?
you throw something out yourself?
Yeah, at home, for example.
When you cannot, like when it's,
Yeah, when it becomes unedible.
yeah.
And how do you know that?
I look for
But this is
what's
not
it called?
waste. Yeah, but
I forgot the word for it.
I mean, if it's
Mold.
Yeah, exactly.
if it's
Yeah.
like this,
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider it as a waste, because then obviously for your health you cannot eat it.
Yeah, but
then you have to
But
throw
if
it
you
away.
could eat it, like you could have eaten it before.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I
like
would
this.
say if you have, for example, some salad in your fridge and you end up not using it, so it becomes moldy, then I still consider it food waste because you should
yeah.
have eaten it and you should have
Yeah.
planned ahead in time.
Yeah.
So that's how I would argue for it.
Do you usually throw out the food at home?
No.
Not if I can
No,
prevent it.
no.
Well, it happens sometimes.
Yeah,
but-
it happens, but it's not
Actually, we have like, well, not me. My husband has a really strict policy about food waste, and he's actually the one doing the most of the food at home. Like he's the one in the kitchen, so it's fine by me. But we've like only just a couple of weeks ago we threw away some what's it called? Not potatoes, but other like pastinak and persillerod, parsnips, yeah, that we had grown ourselves. We have like a summer cottage, and we had grown it ourselves, and we brought it home in October, and it's been lying in the fridge until now. And actually, I think it could have been eaten, but I was just like, no, it's been there since October. I will not eat it. But I don't think it was looking okay.
That is, you threw them away.
I did. I was just thinking, okay, October. That's a lot of months for something to be lying in the fridge. But other than that, he experiments a lot with food, and he did like an experiment where he wanted to see how long he could make one chicken last, and he made it last for, of course, with the vegetables or something like that, but he made it last for 6 days.
Okay.
He could like, every day there was a new part of the chicken that was used for something. So I personally, I don't think that much about it, but of course it affects me that when Martin wants to make dinner, he also always looks at what's available first, and then we go shopping afterwards.
What I do a lot to prevent food waste is because sometimes I cook something too much, and then I'm like, I don't want to force myself to eat, but I freeze a lot because I think I might. I mean, in a few days I want to eat it, but the same if I have too many vegetables, then I might cook a soup and freeze it because I don't want to throw the soup away because it's a good one, but at the same time, I don't want to have a pressure on myself, but I have to eat it. I really don't like this, that you feel like, you have to finish it. Then, even if I have my plate, I would just put it in a Tupperware and keep it one day more and eat it the next day. Not to throw it away right away, but yeah.
Yeah, I think the limit for me is like if it's on the verge of being unhealthy, like if you have to do with food that can mold, like bread, and you see this mold, I know from my former profession that you have to throw it away, because even though you can like scrape off the mold or make it disappear, it makes like little things that goes out into the rest. But like milk products, like sour milk products, yogurt and stuff like that, I can eat it a couple of days after expiration date with no problem, because I know it's a sour product. Like it really has to be really, really sour because before it's a problem, because the only thing that happens is the process goes on. And I think everybody knows the thing where you take a milk, open the carton and smell it. It's so easy. You know when it's gone bad.
It's the same with the egg.
Yeah.
You smell it so fast. And if you're not sure, then I would just, if I'm not sure about the product, then I would just cook them. And maybe not eat them raw. The same with vegetables, with maybe apples. I would make an apple compote. Or something like this.
We've actually done it in the garden at the summer cottage, because it's not ours, it's my parents-in-law, but they have so many fruit trees. Like they have 3 apple trees and 2 pear trees and plum trees and cherry trees. And you have to be there right at the moment when everything is right to get it. And even though you like maybe store a big bag of apples, you still have all the apples that have fallen to the ground. And they actually invested in like the thing where you can press it, so to make juice, and the rest you can use for compost and stuff like that. For the same reasons, just to use as much as you possibly can.
I think what is nice as well to prevent food waste is like on the brunch on Sunday, it's like to share. If you have too much of something, you just share with your friends. If you made a huge bread or a cake and you don't want to eat cake for the next 2 days, then you bring at university, you share,
Mm.
and yeah, that's a nice way.
And maybe also buy groceries that can keep. Like if we're only two in our household, and I'm the only one eating like milk products and stuff like that, so I almost never buy normal milk. I buy the lactose-free milk because it has an expiration date like 2 weeks longer than the normal milk, and that's solely because then I don't have to buy or throw it out or something like that. And sour products as well, milk products.
Do you think that there are some consequences about all of this food waste at home, in supermarkets, in the school, in the canteen, in restaurants? Do you consider that they are big consequences, or it's fine, or it's
I consider them to be quite big actually.
yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, you hear it now everywhere with the meat, for example.
Yeah.
There will be a shortage.
Yeah.
So it's
But as well, you can think. I think it's maybe more a moral or ethical
Yeah.
thing as well, because in the end, if I throw away this, it wouldn't be like.
yeah, but it
It's-
would, because there is a lot of like it needs a lot of water, for example.
Yeah, but I think it's more a state of mind that people have to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because on a global scale, it's more the global scale, and as well between the North and the South relation, that the North is throwing away so much food, and there is bad undernutrition in some countries in the South. So I think it's a lot as well a moral and ethical.
I also think that the production of the food we waste gives something to the climate. So if we
It also consumes a lot of energy producing food,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
meat, because what you get out of it is only, as far as I remember, like 10%. And in order to produce meat, you need to produce food for the animals, and thereby you're just wasting more and more energy.
Yeah, so it's a
Yeah.
CO2 problem as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially with the animals.
Yeah.
Because like cows, they just produce a lot of CO2.
Yeah.
Or they eat a lot of, I don't remember, but and also like the transport of animal products is really putting a strain on the environment as well. But I think, like, if you really want to do something for the environment, because there's also this thing about us running out of produce at some point in the relatively near future, I think you have to go local. Like, think global but locally. So think, okay, I live in Copenhagen and I don't have my own backyard and I don't have a big old field where I can grow potatoes, but what can I actually do? How far can I go? And I know that, like, I live in the outer skirts of Frederiksberg in Copenhagen, and in our area we have like a developmental project. We want to develop more things that the society can do together, and one of them are actually like little city yards where we can grow our own produce, like right next to the biggest highway in Copenhagen. But anyway, I like the thought. I know they have them on Nørrebro, and I know they have them in Vanløse and on Indre, like inner Nørrebro as well. And I think it's a great idea because it makes people understand how much energy it actually takes to grow like a bag of potatoes. And I love that idea. Like when we grow, like during the summer and into the early winter, we have like produce for, like we can skip maybe 75% of our vegetable buys in the supermarket because we have our own. So I think people need to understand because we've been so far away from it for so long.
But I also think that it's not just a matter of understanding, it's also a matter of money.
Yeah.
You can buy a cucumber from Spain that costs half of what the cucumber from Denmark costs. And that will, at some point, it will force people to take what is not the ecologically correct choice, simply because they have to do it in order to make ends meet. In the end.
I'm not arguing with that, but think about it. You have like this relatively large social group that don't have the money to buy ecological. Many of them are on some form of transference pay, like maybe I don't know what it's called in English. They don't have a job or they're ill for some reason. And these people need something to do, and we need food. And they live somewhere where you might be able to give them the potential to be able to grow their own food. Why not do that? Like, I'm not saying it's not like they're doing anything else, but I'm saying if that's the problem, maybe we could work with that. Because I hear so often. I've been doing, before I started here, I did some weight loss programs for Brøndby Kommune, and there are a lot of people who don't have that much money in Brøndby, and it was actually one of the things that we talked a lot about was, okay, how can I do this program but do it at a discount? So we tried to be really creative, like with greens and vegetables. I know that on Mondays they have a sale on that in Irma and sale on that in Netto. So we tried to make it easy, because it is a big problem. Because it's not only your economic resources that are failing, it's usually also like the inside and just the understanding of how things trickle down the ladder. And at the end, if you don't have anything to eat, it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. So,
What do you think, Jonathan?
What
Sorry,
I think-
I don't want to point it, but
No,
it's because we need like everybody to
Yes.
talk. Yeah, so, and we haven't really heard your opinion.
Well, I think it's something that it's not just it's something that comes all the way from school. Because once you have a better understanding about food and what you can do with food. So I think I know that at some schools they're starting to educate it. At small classes, I saw a program that was talking a bit about these gardens that are around Copenhagen, and they were showing that there was a special open garden in Nørrebro where they were taking children out to learn where food comes from, what potential is.
So do you think that knowledge is a very important part?
Yes.
Regarding this? Because I heard that also Sophie was talking about at a meeting as well. Okay. Okay, I think we have a lot of ideas there in the mood board, the whiteboard.
One thing that I'd add to what Sophie said, about in the program I saw, they actually said that if Copenhagen would try and to be locally work on local produce, it would have to use something around 400 football fields to. So in no way could Copenhagen itself.
no, of course, I know, but
No, but the encouragement of at least staying on Zealand is something, instead of having. I think it's really a paradox that there are blueberries from Denmark and blueberries from Chile right next to each other.
Yeah. It's amazing.
It's because we bought at the other day, or she bought it.
I bought, and it was lying there And I was like, shit, they are from Chile.
Okay, so now that we finished the whiteboard, we can tell like our definition in our group, in our project, what is food waste for us. And we have taken like one small part of it, and it's fruit and vegetables that are not sellable anymore, but they are still eatable. And we are focused a lot in supermarkets, like with overripe fruits and vegetables. So, would you like to continue with number 3?
So we're gonna imagine now, and we're gonna imagine that, for example, we would make a new product out of food waste. What would your reaction be?
A new edible product?
I think I need more information
Yeah.
about it, because you could say if it's food waste, it may give the wrong connotations. If it could basically be anything. Like,
Yeah.
but on one side it sounds really cool to say that we can take all the food that would otherwise go to waste, turn it into a product so we can
Yeah.
sell it.
So
Yeah. But for example, if you took a lot of the overripe bananas and apples and so on and made it into smoothies and then sold cheap smoothies in a supermarket, or here at the university, for example, that sounds like a cool idea.
But you would like to know more information about it
Yeah.
before you would buy something like that?
Yeah, but I'm very skeptical about
Yeah.
what I buy, so...
Yeah.
I mean, I know in Australia, when I was there, they were having if the bananas were starting to be overripe or starting to look a bit brown, they'd put a price down on them. They'd collect them together into a bag and they'd sell it very cheap.
We did the same in Irma, in my local Irma. And they always have like a fruit basket at the end of the register, where children always get offered like a piece of fruit, and it, of course, it's usually the fruit that they wouldn't sell anyway. And they have like a basket in the green department for like overripe stuff that you can buy like a bag of bananas for 5 kroner or something like that. I usually use my brown bananas. I put them in the freezer. I peel them, put them in maybe chop them up, put them in the freezer, and they're ready for smoothies, or just like, you can make like a really great banana ice cream just out of a frozen banana and maybe some milk or something. It's fabulous. So, because it doesn't matter if the supermarkets like put down the price and then people buy it and then they throw them out anyway, then we haven't come that far. But I think actually, like with the products, you have to decide, do you want to banner the fact that your product is about food waste, or do you want to maybe just make a really great product where it doesn't say that it's about food waste, but it's really great, so what does it matter? It's like, you can try and sell something.
As long as it's still healthy, I think that's the most, because for me food waste is really not about like bad food. It's more about food that could still be used. Maybe the apple is a bit bad, but you just cut the half and you use the rest to make a tart or something.
Maybe you should call it maybe you shouldn't call it like food out of food waste or something, because then people are like, okay, waste, it's bad. I won't eat it, it's unhealthy.
I think marketing is actually very important. Also, the discussion is on, does it matter if you tell people that it's food to avoid food waste, or do you make it or do you use it to make good quality? Because you will probably have the left-wing people who will go, oh, it's to not have food waste. We're gonna buy that product instead of the one that actually has maybe a better quality. Whereas you may have some, maybe left-wing people that are like, no, we take quality over the world any day, so therefore they will go on the other side. So should you tell it's food waste or not?
But
That-
very often, for example, the bananas, I use them a lot to make cakes because it's very sweet. So actually, it's a good product, even though they are completely black.
Yeah.
But because especially the banana, they change, they
Yeah.
become so sweet, and you can use it for something else. So it's I wouldn't consider a black banana as a waste.
No.
Maybe after a certain point, then it becomes, and you can use it.
Everyone eats ketchup, so I mean,
But they are still green.
are they?
I think,
But yeah, I actually think bananas are, well, maybe one of the harder ones, because I'm one of the people that if a banana starts to have brown spots, then I can't eat it unless it's been produced into something else, for example, in ice cream or in cake, because I simply can't handle the consistency of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, for example, in my house, when the bananas are really green and really hard, then I eat them. Then they start to become brown, and then my boyfriend gets them.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a lot about like the sensoric
yeah.
quality of what you are producing when you're having to do with overripe fruits. Vegetables is a little bit more difficult because what happens with like overripe fruit is it becomes sweeter and sweeter and sweeter, and then at some point it starts like developing yeast and like different forms of yeast, and then you get drunk if you try to eat it. But
Sounds very good.
yeah.
Just market it to
Hey, you could make brandy or like whiskey or something like that. Yeah, that would be fun. I actually think a lot of people would drink that because everybody knows that to make like a really good alcohol, you have to have like that process, that oxidation process of the fruit or whatever you're trying to brew on. So it doesn't matter that it's an overripe fruit because that's the exact intention of making alcohol. So I think people would love it. Well, it's not that yeah, no, I just got a great idea.
Can you tell it to your husband?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, he's a brewer, so I should actually tell him. Yeah, so you have, vegetables are a little bit difficult, I think, because when they overripe, they get nasty, like soft, weird looking, like just like a cauliflower that becomes ripe. It doesn't become ripe, it starts to rot.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit more difficult. Like they do actually in my Irma have, like sometimes they have cauliflower or broccoli or something that's turned a little bit and they reduce the price. I would never buy it. I just can't know.
Especially if they are in those plastics.
Yeah.
And then
The
it's
condensation. Yeah.
then it's really
But it's very interesting because you have been talking about developing a product and everything. But I haven't heard that something that already exists in supermarkets. Or have you heard about something?
No.
Have you heard something about this? Like a product already made of food waste?
Yeah, from the bakery, Omkugler.
Yeah, that's right. Omkugler and Studenterbrød.
Yeah. So when they take all the old bread from the day beforehand,
Okay.
make some new.
They put rum and sugar in
Yeah.
it and they turn it around and then you can buy them for like a really low price.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually the only thing I can think of
Yeah.
that I have seen.
maybe we don't know.
Yeah, I think you're very right. Maybe we just don't know when
Yeah.
traditional waste is used for a product because I know that somewhere like potato peels are used and I would imagine that in like the production area a lot of producers would like to use as much as they can. It's not there the problem.
like in a bakery as well. Or if you use potatoes in a certain way, if you boil them, then the next. Well, I don't know if then it's more again personal, but the next day you make just a new product out of it. I don't know if in the supermarket they would do this as well.
example, if we have two products in a supermarket, and one says it has food waste, and one says it's good for the environment, it's healthy, and more of those things, what would you choose?
The latter, like
Yeah.
environmental friendly, healthy drink.
Yeah. It has all the buzzwords. It has environmental, it has friendly, it has healthy. It's like, it's kind of it's the wrapping of the product, really. Because when you say made from food waste, you can sit there, okay, food waste, does that mean
What
that?
is that?
What is that?
You associate
I
that
would
maybe
think
it's
about
not
junk.
healthy.
Yeah.
You could associate it in this way, that it's not
Associate
healthy.
what?
That made from food waste, it's maybe not healthy. You could think like this, even though it's the same product.
Yeah.
It's a smoothie made up, or something.
It all depends on the connotation
Yeah,
that
it
we're
does.
talking about. Yeah.
And it depends on, the just sensibility of the people. What is food waste? Like what we are talking now.
At the beginning, maybe you will just take on all of these things when you just see food waste.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think it depends on the person, because I know my mom really isn't an intellectual, and if you told her food waste, she would fall off her chair and think,
Yeah.
oh my god, people are trying to give me something that is rotten
Yeah.
and it's gonna kill me.
I'm going to
Yeah.
die.
Yeah, so yeah, it's really all in the marketing when you
Yeah.
tell people how to do it. But it's also just when you hear a product, or when you see a product that says, well, when you buy meat, it's also because it's healthy and it's environmental. It's sort of telling you, buy me, I'm good for you.
And
When
for
you
the
say food,
environment.
yeah, actually also, but when you say food waste, then you're actually only pointing towards the environment. So you're maybe giving more personal buzzwords in the other one, thereby making it more relatable to people to say, okay, this is good for me, rather than this is good for the environment. I could imagine that will have a huge impact on some people.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just me, but when I see it made from food waste, I get connotation that the food is already wasted. So why should I purchase it? I mean, it's bad food that's already wasted.
Mm-hmm.
There's something wrong with it, and now there's something made out of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it all depends on what you want. What are you trying to say with it, and what is the intention? Do you want it to sell? Do you want it to be like in Denmark, like for the last 10 years, more and more young women, especially, are carrying around like half a liter of water everywhere they go. It's just half a liter of water. Nobody really knows why, because you can just get tap water or something, but it says something about you as a person. You carry a half a liter of water with you. You are thinking about your own health. You are thinking about getting enough fluids during the day, blah, 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 blah. And if you want that kind of product, you have to maybe, and if you wanted to like say, I care about the environment and I care about food waste, then you really have to be clever about it, because nobody wants to be the one who's carrying around rotten apples.
Unless you're marketing like the product for the intelligent woman, or whatever, where you're saying that this product was made to help the environment by using products that is maybe not nearing expiration date, that you get into the connotations again,
but then you are really narrowing, thereby narrowing like the target group who you want to reach with this product, right?
But then you could have environmentally friendly, healthy on the front, and then with the little explanation text telling about how this is a product to help reduce food waste.
Yeah.
Maybe not call it food waste, but call it help reduce food waste.
I think basically you really just have to make a really good product. Like, if you make a really good product, you can call it whatever you want and people will buy it. Like, if first you start like the hype about a product, people will buy it. I am certain of it. If it's good enough, and if you place it at the right spots with the right people, like out here, like it would be a great place to start, like just in invite people for a little opening
Yeah.
of
Or if you can
product
find
or-
this product in some really cool bars or
Yes.
really cool
Mhm.
cafes,
Yeah.
then it's like
Exactly.
you can see them everywhere, and you think, oh, this cafe is a very nice one,
Yeah.
so I should buy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That can be.
Even just changing it from made from food waste to prevent food waste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be.
I mean, that's it. Like, it'll be a huge change.
Yeah, I think so too.
So I think none of you really want to know that it is really made from food waste.
It depends, because we, for example, we do the dumpster diving, and so if I would see that, I would think, yes, cool.
Yeah, I think it's because we are doing dumpster diving, but not everyone does. Some support the idea, some
Yeah,
friends,
some
but
are like,
they wouldn't come with us
Yeah.
because they're
Maybe
still
they
like,
would, but they would stand and
and not take anything.
yeah.
But so maybe it's more we are into the thing, so it's a bit.
So
Wow,
maybe
wow,
if
it would
they
really
would,
be intriguing if you found that in the dumpster. Wow.
Yeah,
That's like.
the whole circle close.
I think maybe you could say it like in another way, like prevents food waste made from what it's actually made from. Because if I knew it was made from apples and oranges or apples and pears, I don't think I would mind, actually. All juices are made from overripe apples and pears.
Yeah, but the trick lies in that people aren't told it's from overripe fruit.
And then you're back again to the question, does people need to know? Or do you just want it to sell, or should it be like a product you place and say, okay, I'm into preventing food waste?
Yeah, but you can sort of go the Ben and Jerry ice cream way, where you're like, this ice cream is awesome, it tastes good, and then when you look into it, it's like, we only use dairy products from ecological farms, we only use vanilla from people that aren't being used, and we pay the right price for the chocolate and so on.
Yeah.
True. Because that's actually a good example of a product that sort of has the whole package, where they're saying we're good, but we're also environmentally correct and ethically correct.
We're not
So,
saying how evil they are to our diet.
what?
We're not saying how evil they are for our
No.
diet.
No, but again, it's all about marketing, because then you have this tastes good for all the people who don't care, and then you can turn it around and say, okay, it's actually a good product to support, and then you can get people.
Because
on the
it
wagon that way.
depends on who you include and who you exclude,
Yeah.
whether you want to say one thing or the other.
Yeah. I think I don't know, making a smoothie out of old bananas. I wouldn't see the purpose to say it, because it's old bananas are not bad necessarily.
No.
So, and by saying it, maybe you would prevent people from buying it, because they would think, oh, is this still healthy? But actually, of course it is. So why the need to tell it?
Yeah, I actually think it will prevent some people, because you have gotten into people's heads today that when you have a quality product, then it says this is only made from the freshest, finest fruit,
Mhm.
for example. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
as soon as you go in and say, well, this isn't the finest, freshest fruit, then people may, due to the other products, go in and say, okay, then it can't be good quality.
True.
It's also not just from actual consumers in supermarkets. It starts at packaging places, where if the fruit has an odd shape, or then it's sent to a different, and some areas they don't even sell it to
There are some nice apples
Yeah.
in the shop.
there's maybe a bit too big, or maybe a bit too small.
Yeah, they did this. I think it was last year in Switzerland. There's one place in Switzerland they grow a lot of apricots in the south of Switzerland, and I don't remember if it was last year or 2 years ago. There were grêlons, like not snow,
Frost.
frost.
Oh,
Yeah,
fast.
no, but like
Oh,
a rain.
hail.
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 Yeah, and so it destroyed those apricots. But you could still find them in the supermarket for a lower price, and people were still buying them, for example, to make a tart. And this, I found it very good because it was a Swiss product, so people were like, oh, let's buy locally, but for a better price as well. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, because like there are really a lot of the consequence of a lot of the politics surrounding food in all, like you have the European Union with a lot of weird rules about like cucumbers having to be straight and stupid things that makes it hard for us as consumers to look at like a curly cucumber and think, oh, it looks great, it's fantastic. So it's a lot about the discourse about what is good quality, what is bad quality, what is healthy, what is unhealthy, what are we telling ourselves, what does it say about a product that you actually mark it down when the skin has started to turn, like, yeah. So it's like a really big thing. And you also have to think about, if you're making a product, what is the end mean? Do you want to sell a lot to prevent food waste? Or do you want to make a product that may not catch as many people, but will say loud and clear, prevents food waste? So there's a lot of things to consider. Like, I think.
Yeah. So we were drinking this smoothie or eating this smoothie, and what do you think about this one? Have you tried? You all tried, I think. Would you
I
like
haven't.
No.
I don't think.
For me, it's fine as well. It looks good though, but
Yeah.
for a smoothie, you have to be a bit hungry.
Okay. And what about the taste?
It needs a bit of sugar.
It's
So something sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
But actually, yeah,
It's gonna have a
actually,
What do you think?
I think it was nice.
What one?
It's- I think it was missing a dominating taste, flavor.
Okay.
yeah,
I think.
yeah, maybe that's it.
But there was the banana, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I could taste the banana.
yeah, and also I'm guessing, yeah, strawberry. Yeah, probably it's not raspberry, is it? No. No, strawberry.
How is the feeling? It's good. It's
It's a
not.
little bit thick
It's
Mhm.
for a smoothie.
Actually, I love that because it reminds me sort of a pudding.
thick. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But it also reminds a bit of baby food. It's
Yeah.
like
Oh,
tried
really?
no, well, I haven't tried it, but I've looked at it.
yeah.
I've tried baby food. There's nothing wrong.
No.
What did you say?
Baby food. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong.
No, it's actually, I've
Yeah.
heard it's quite good.
Yeah.
The fruit versions.
It's
but,
like very thick soup
Mhm.
sometimes.
Okay.
And in general, do you like it or not?
I think
You,
it
you
tastes
can
good.
try.
I like it.
You can try it. You can take one if you.
Oh, can I take a bit of yours? Yeah.
There. You have one?
Yeah.
You like it, Elena?
Yeah.
Or- Yeah.
But I was thinking, what is it like? The is it called
Consistency.
Yeah. But it's not like you put something, right?
No.
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 That's a banana.
It's banana.
It has like a gelatin. in
But
it.
for a smoothie, I would say it's a bit thick.
It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can't really drink it like this.
Mhm.
Like, it's very good as a dessert, maybe with some biscuits or something like this. But to drink in the morning, I would put more milk inside or.
No, it's
How to make
actually
your-
true if but then it's again connotation, because when you say smoothie, then you're implying that you're supposed to drink it. If you just call it, I don't know, fruit pudding, then
Mhm.
and you give a spoon, then it gives another context for how
Yeah.
you're supposed to eat. So maybe that's actually the trick to it. I don't know. For me, it didn't surprise me that much with how thick it was, because there were spoons on the table and I saw other people taking spoons. So So the spoon prepared me for the consistency of it, actually.
I think I would have liked it better if it was really cold. Like if it had been, not ice cold, not like an ice cream, but if it had been like straight out of the fridge.
Mhm.
Then another question. What about this banana?
I would eat it.
I would eat it.
Yeah.
You would eat it, but would you also buy it in the supermarket if available?
If I were to eat it the same day, yes.
Okay.
If I were to buy like a whole bunch of bananas and they all look like that, I wouldn't. Probably wouldn't, because I wouldn't eat it. Do we buy bananas?
Would you buy bananas like that?
I mean, if I would buy bananas, like you find them a lot in the dumpster. So if I would buy bananas, I would actually buy that one.
No,
Because that ones you can find.
Yeah. Okay.
I would never buy that banana and eat it as it is, but if you blend it up. Use
What
it
if
for
I
ice cream.
peeled it for you and it looked great inside and I just placed it on a plate for you? You would probably eat it because you wouldn't
think
know
it's
that
fine.
the
That
skin had
depends.
been brown.
That depends if it has those you can see on the banana.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you have these spots where then it changes the texture when
But
it's
I can
too
tell you just by looking at it that this one doesn't have. Well, actually, one maybe on the
Yeah,
side,
there it is.
but no, not well. Now it does, but
I think it's a really fine banana inside.
But true, when I see it like that, it's purely psychological.
Yeah.
But if I got it and it was, well, I like them when they're almost green, when they're
Yeah.
pretty hard. So of course there will be something. But,
Yeah.
but
But they keep really well in the fridge for some reason, and nobody ever puts the bananas in the fridge. But I use them maybe like if it's big bananas, I use like a third in the morning, sometimes in the morning for my yogurt or something, and I just put the rest in as is in the fridge, and it keeps great for 3 days.
What do the boys say? Would you buy that one, or you don't buy it?
I would, if I could take the other one, I would take them.
Okay.
But if the only one was like that, I would.
If they were separately and reduced in price, I'd probably take those and make something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had a choice and they were same price, I'd probably take the ones that were ripe, not green, not and not overripe. Well, I wouldn't say that's overripe. I'd say that was ripe, but on the border of overripe.
So this smoothie was made of these bananas.
Nice brown banana.
So,
And
Do you
normal
have it?
strawberries.
sorry?
And normal strawberries.
Almost strawberries. But we were trying to find about this, like what are you thinking about food waste, about the bananas, about the smoothie and everything? And actually you started at the beginning just to create these ideas on how to make a product, and we were like, stop, it's like the last question. But it was very, very interesting. So do you have any other comments or any other?
I would actually say that I would love to see like a dry product out of food.
A dry?
A dry product, like maybe a fruit powder,
Mm-hmm.
like a freeze-dried powder.
Mm-hmm.
They do it a lot with different berries you can buy now. The reason for it being that, like in a banana like that, you have all the sweetness, but you also have the risk of like, unless you use something to stop the ripening of the banana, you really have to act fast. Like you have to have the overripe banana and produce like that. Here you can have the overripe and produce and sell like pretty fast. With an overripe banana, if you were to freeze dry it and cut it into little pieces, or I don't know if it's actually possible with the banana because of the gelatin, but anyway, it would be like another kind of sugar, another way of sweetening things, a more natural way of sweetening. Also because when you take out the water of something, you actually stop any rotting.
But wouldn't it
process.
be difficult, like to make the banana chips, for example? But with the bananas, maybe this would still be okay, but with the two black ones, probably it would be too, you couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, maybe I don't. I have never seen a freeze-dried banana, so I don't know how it is. But it was just an idea because, like me, I'm a diabetic, and I would never eat a whole glass of smoothie. It's not that I can't, but that's just the way I've chosen to live. And for me, I think I would love to be able to support preventing food waste and fruit waste, but maybe it would be easier for me if I could dose it in little. Yeah.
Did you know that most of the waste in supermarkets, like 50%, is around fruits and vegetables?
Doesn't surprise me.
No, I'm the same. I didn't know, but it really doesn't surprise me either.
Okay.
It's the only really fresh thing you have in the supermarket, and that's what matures quicker because many of the processed foods are made not to turn.
Yeah.
And if you would have this product and they're label over there environmental friendly, healthy drink, and also say that you're preventing this food waste, this extra food waste, would you buy it?
Yes, I think actually what could be a really great thing would just be you have the ecological økomærket, like the brand, and whenever you see that mark on something, you know it's økologisk, it's ecological. You could have the same,
but
something that prevents food waste.
Ah, yeah, like this, yeah. Because I was just about to say maybe the bananas weren't ecologic.
No.
But yeah, the same to prevent.
Yeah, but if you have the product that, or if you had a reduced sign with a stamp on it, by buying this you're helping prevent food waste. I think that would be really great, and that would be something I think a lot of politicians would actually not be against.
Okay.
So.
And would you consider the price?
Yeah.
Or, yeah?
In my current economic situation, yes, I would. But it's all about what you believe you can afford for a product, because the price of the product changes based on the situation you're in. Even how hungry I am at the point of when I'm thinking of buying it will have an effect on the price that I'm willing to pay for it.
But I don't think, if you are willing or if you want to buy ecological food, of course you have to pay more, and I think we are students in Denmark and we can all afford it.
Yeah.
So I don't...
Especially if we dumpster dive most of our
Yeah,
food.
but
No,
it doesn't matter if you pay 5 krona more or not.
No.
In the end, I think
in the
it
end, I
does,
think
yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
just saw in Switzerland they made this comparison if you a household who bought everything ecologic and nothing ecologic, and the difference was about 40%.
of course,
the
but
price.
if you decide to buy ecologic or if you decide to prevent food waste, of course, then you drink 1 beer less per week, and it's fine. No,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
But
it's always about priorities.
yeah, of course, but again, it's all about how much money do I have, how
Of
much
course,
money
of course.
do I need to save up, and so on.
Of
So
course.
I'm thinking that if I had 2 bottles of juice, smoothie, anything, and one costed maybe 5 krona more. If it's not something I'm buying every day, then I would pay that more. But if it's something I buy every day, then the price would start to matter more.
Yeah, and there's also the whole thing about, okay, what am I choosing to support here? Okay, if I'm choosing to support preventing food waste, am I not choosing to support an ecological item, or is the produce that the food waste product is made from also ecological? And there's always these things. Sometimes you can't get it all. Sometimes you have to support something that prevents CO2, and then you can't get it ecological, or you can't whatever. There are a lot of examples on that. So
there's also the thought that if I'm buying something that prevents food waste, am I creating food waste by not buying other food?
But it has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And also, like with the price, I would know that this product had been made from something that was about to be wasted. So I probably wouldn't want to buy a liter of that for the same cost as a liter of fresh juice or whatever, because
Yeah.
you got it as a producer, you got it
You
at
can
a good price. So there's that as well.
Yeah,
Then it would really have to be able to do something like on the other side, like what am I showing off when I buy this? If
yeah, what can you live with? For example, I only buy ecological milk. For example, it's only a matter of animal welfare.
Yeah. B2X as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, for example, for me, I'm going in and saying, okay, if it's for the animal welfare, then I'm willing to buy more for a product, even though it may even be less that I'm buying, or not even the same quality that I'm buying. So yeah, it is about what, how do you price it? So I'm sure that there are some people who will say that if they can have the food waste juice and pay the same as a normal juice, they will go that way or even pay more, because they like the thought of themselves as being correct. But then again, you're hitting a smaller target group than if it costs less, because then you're hitting the people just saying, ooh, discount. So, yeah.
There are a lot of things to consider. But overall, I would probably buy a product that was dry more than like a smoothie or something like that. Also because it would have like a longer endurance period. I would be able to use it for a longer period of time.
Producers would probably, not producers, but supermarkets would probably more likely buy it as well, because it will have a longer shelf life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're going in canteens and restaurants and so on, where you're saying that, yeah, now we have some good food that, well, has to be eaten now, but at least you can go out with a good conscience. I actually think if our canteen had some good food waste smoothies, then I would be more likely to go and buy one than if they just had smoothies, actually. But that's again more the thought of doing something correct that is driving it.
But you would buy, if you would find this in the canteen, you would take instead of water in the lunch, for example?
I never buy water. So, but if I was down there and yeah, I could get, I don't know, some cocoa milk or a smoothie where I was told that this was made for the right reason, so to speak, there was food waste, then I think I would, due to it being a food waste product, be persuaded to buy that instead of the other one, actually.
Would you buy that, Dennis, in the canteen?
No,
No?
I do not buy things in the canteen.
Principle.
It's too expensive.
Yeah.
And you, Sophie, would you buy it in the canteen?
Probably not, because I wouldn't buy it, but it depends on what else there was in the canteen.
No, just if you see like where all the juices are and you just find the smoothie made of food waste, would you just take it and buy it one day? Like, not every day.
I think I would find it interesting enough to try it once,
Yeah.
and if the product was good enough,
You would buy it again.
I would buy it again.
You, Lily? Would you buy it in the canteen?
Yeah, I would definitely try it, and if I like the product. I mean, if I don't like it because I don't like the taste, then I wouldn't, but otherwise I would, yeah.
Oh, so taste is very important. Okay.
Because it's still the consumer who I would only buy something I like, and not I wouldn't buy because I would think, oh, it's good against food waste,
Yeah.
but I would buy because I like it, I need it, or yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, but if you don't like it, you just end up throwing it out, and then you just supported food waste by buying food waste.
Yeah.
So,
Would you buy that?
But then you
again?
would only do it once.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you, Jonathan?
I would buy it if I liked it. I would. I don't know if I would. If I could compare it with something that was the same but much cheaper, then I wouldn't continue buying it. But on the other hand, if it was unique in a way, just apart from being from food waste, if it has a unique flavor or a unique texture, maybe I would continue buying it. But of course, only if I liked it.
You done? So, I think we're done. So, thank you very much that you came here. And it was nice to hear all of your comments and all of your ideas. It's really, really helpful. And yeah, if you want to take some notes, we were not measuring this time. I saw that Elena was eating this and this. So I need to do that.
Have you been reading Brian Wansink?
Sorry?
Have you read Brian Wansink, like his studies on food psychology?
Yeah.
It's really, really interesting. They do like this, like a food lab. Then they invite people to talk about different stuff. But what they're really measuring is like how many pieces of this bread did you take, how many spoonfuls of that did you take, how did you go about like the buffet or whatever. And it's
all
really
this
interesting.
commensality.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, that happens a lot here in this room as well.
Yeah, so then you have different plate sizes and measure how much food people put on it and stuff like that. It's really fun.
Just a question, because we've been talking about food waste in regards to consuming, but I know, like, for example, in Germany, they have what's it called? They create steam power out of they burn excess vegetables and agriculture to create energy.
Yeah, that's true. That's another
And
way
also
to
the shit
recycle
of the cow.
Yeah.
food waste.
It's interesting.
But it's a small, like it's not a lot.
No.
But it's in Switzerland they have it as well, and it becomes bigger and bigger. So this whole recycling industry, it has a lot of potential.
But does it, if we're talking about like food waste turning into food shortage, it doesn't matter that we produce energy out of the food waste, does it? Like, if, like, because in the beginning we talked about, like, it's been in the news like a couple of times recently, that our food waste is turning into a food shortage, like long term. We won't have enough food to feed everybody in the world, because the world is growing, we're getting to be more and more people, and we waste a lot of our food. So if we use the food waste to produce energy, to burn it instead of producing new food, then it doesn't take us anywhere in regards to that anyway.
Yeah, but isn't this like a lot of speculation, and it's very long term?
Yeah.
So I think it's difficult to make prediction.
Yeah.
For the
It is.
future.
It is pretty.
And I guess
long-term.
it's a solution seen as at least instead of just throwing the food away.
Yeah. But you can say both of these problems are a part of a big. They're symptoms on the same disease. That we don't really respect what we have and how we use it, like energy. I just went a week to Morocco, and everybody in Marrakesh, they're like, turn out the lights, because the electricity is so expensive. And you were always like, okay. And I started remembering to turn out the lights, because I don't really think about it in Denmark. Sometimes I go to sleep and I'm like, what is that buzzing sound? Oh my God, I forgot to turn off the light in the bathroom that I went to 2 hours ago, or something like that. So that's a problem that can relate again to how we talk about everything else in the Western world. How we regard everything as just something that can be replaced with something else.
But that's also because we're in the Western world is way too comfortable. And for example, people have this idea that, oh my god, I need to eat 200 grams of meat every day. And it's a huge waste of energy and food source as well. And humans as omnivores, we really don't need that much meat at all. But people are still, but I want the meat, so I don't care about the environment, I don't care about my health, I don't care about anything, I just want the taste of meat.
Yeah.
So,
I was at a talk of a person that was saying about how much meat should be consumed in order for human people to have enough food to continue or for the next 50 years, and they're saying about 18 kilos a year.
yeah.
And I was just talking to a friend of mine who's a bodybuilder, and he's training for a group. He's saying, I eat half a kilo a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's amazing how much meat people actually eat.
Yeah.
Because then for lunch they like have maybe bread with a lot of meat on it, and they go home and they have more meat for dinner, and that goes on every day.
Meat is food.
If you ask me, it's a waste.
I remember talking as a Swedish friend, and he's a big guy, and I was saying that I was taking some salad, and he says, "Oh, I don't eat salad." And I said, "Why not?" And he says, "Well, I have an agreement with the rabbits. I don't touch their food, and they don't touch mine."
I've heard that many times. It's an old one. I have an agreement that says if I don't eat the cow, then the cow doesn't eat me, and then we're good friends.
Yeah.
So you're a vegetarian?
Yeah.
Okay. But you're not a vegan?
No.
Okay. I was just thinking, there's nothing, I was just thinking about, like, what you said about the different meals during the day, and in Denmark, I think almost nobody eats meat for breakfast. It's actually one of the only meals where we go around the meat. Maybe on the
Except
weekends.
for brunch, but
For brunch, bacon and stuff like that. But still, you can go about it without touching anything that has to do with meat, which is quite interesting. You could make like a campaign: make breakfast for dinner, make breakfast for lunch, mix it up, do something.
That'll be a lot of yogurt.
Just eat a lot. a lot of crisp bread with cheese, which is like what people eat in Denmark. Crisp bread with cheese. No, but I was just thinking about it.
But yeah, it's actually true.
Yeah, because that's not how it is in like many countries. Yeah. Many countries abroad, they eat like casseroles and stuff like that for breakfast as well.
Nobody has anything to say anymore. We can end this. Thank you very much. It was really useful.
Thank you.
Please bring something in.
Are we the last group? Are we the last group?
No, we have one more.
Take all your time. No?
No.
Sorry for coming here late.
No, it's just
I got
fine.
lost.
No, it's fine. And it's something that should be like very informal, very, so it was fine. And we got all the answers, so that was important. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for everyone. We will say thank you. Tusind tak.
Thank you.
More is moody.
I stop the camera now.
Okay. Thank you.
It was so good.
boys.
It was really good. Yeah.
I really like it.
You put garlic inside, right? No, I love it. I do hummus as well, always with garlic. It never has to. Yeah.